Shalom, 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 Israel. First, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. This is another message of daily edification from your King and Shepherd. I told y'all that I was going to be continuing on the two women. All right. I want y'all to really dig in and examine yourself. The Bible says that the things that were written aforetime are written for our learning. You know what I mean? So the word of the Most High is to shape you into what the Most High wants you to be. That goes for you ladies too. There's plenty of things in here about y'all. All right. Let me get a precept real quick out of the Apocrypha. This is Wisdom of Solomon. You know what, Sirach? It's Sirach, not Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon. That's the lot. It's Ecclesiasticus 26 and verse 6. All right. It says, "But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all." Meaning that not only is she jealous, she lets you know about it. You know, she got to say something to show you her disapproval. All right. Ain't nobody in here like that, huh? All right. So Most High is saying that if you're a woman and you jealous over another woman, you ain't gonna get nowhere. And if there's any jealousy in your heart, all right, right now, like I said, this is the most important time in human history. I cannot stress that enough. If you got jealousy in you for you or any of your sisters, you're not gonna make it, man. Flat out. All right. You have to be on the same level as your sisters. You gotta love them and they gotta love you. That's most important. Otherwise, you're gonna have confusion going on. All right. Now, we're gonna have enough of that after the first fruits have been collected and established. Let me tell y'all something. When you offer the Most High an offering, it has to be without blemish. So, the men of the Lord, we got to be without blemish. But you women got to be without blemish too, meaning that you can't have anything in you that blemishes your spirit. You have to let all of that shit go, man. What happened to you, what this nigga did back then, why you got trust issue, you gonna have to let all that shit go, man. I can't trust this bitch. I can't trust, fuck that. You gotta let all that shit go or you're gonna be blemished. Yahweh Shai is gonna pick it up and your ass gonna get left. Plain and simple. You ain't gotta believe me. You can put it to the test and miss out. And once that door closes, that's all on you. All right. I want to read a story to y'all. All right. Out of 1 Samuel about two women. I think it'll put things in perspective. But before I get to that, you know, be it known unto you that you have to be without blemish. All right. And I sense that in the body. That, see, Yahushua don't want no women for his kings, and neither do I, that are going to be a problem. We want women in Akwaf that are going to make peaceable homes for the kings, so that the kings can operate in their full capacity. And like I said, if you're one of these that want to create confusion and do little slick ass nigga shit, you're going to get found out. I'm going to show you how the Most High blesses a real woman of the Lord. All right. And also what can happen to a woman that's faking the funk. See, just because you know how to say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know the lingo, you know the words, you know how to do it, that don't make you a woman of the Lord. But we're going to see what happens with that today. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 1. Starting at verse 1. Now there was a certain man out of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroam, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had no children. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. Now already there, women in the ancient world that weren't able to conceive, they were looked down upon by the women that had conceived. Very cruel, okay? Verse 3. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the sons of Eli, Hophni, and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. So this man went to go where Hophni and Phinehas were, and they were wicked as fuck. Okay? But he went there to sacrifice on behalf of his house. Verse 4. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters their portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But the Lord had shut up her womb. And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. See, now, even though Peninnah had children, Elkanah favored Hannah's spirit. She was a real woman of the Lord even without kids, right? Verse 7. As he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon his seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thy handmaid, but wilt give unto thy handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So she's telling the Lord, I want to have a child for you. I want to have a man of the Lord for you. And if you just bless me with him, I'm going to give him back. That's all she wanted. See, she was more concerned about what she wanted to do for the Lord. See, she wasn't letting Peninnah get in her head. She didn't even pray to the Lord. You know, this wicked woman keeps vexing me. She didn't even go into none of that. She said, Lord, I want a child for you. Is your heart like that? Or do you focus on what the next woman is doing? Okay? That's what I'm saying. And it came to pass, verse 12, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought that she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long will you be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. And what did she pour out? She just wanted to have a child for him, to bring glory to his kingdom. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the power of Israel grant thee thy petition that you have asked of him. And she said, Let thy handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. She put it in the hands of Yahweh. And after that, she knew something good was going to happen. Her attitude changed. She wasn't sad anymore. She wasn't holding on to it. She didn't just pray to him and then go back into a slump. She was like, yeah, he heard me. She had that confidence. And look what happened in verse 19. And they rose up in the morning early and worshiped before the Lord. She worshiped him after that and returned and came to her house to Ramah. And look what Elkanah did. He's like, hey, I need a date. And Elkanah knew his wife, and the Lord remembered her. So when Elkanah went in unto his wife, all right, she conceived. Just like that. The Most High put the spirit on Elkanah, said, man, she looking mighty good. I want to lay with my wife, Elkanah. Now, Peninnah was there, but he wasn't moved to be with her. He wanted to be with Elkanah. See? Verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said to her husband, I will not go up till the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And Elkanah, her husband, said unto her, Do what seemeth thee good. Tarry until thou have weaned him. Only the Lord establish his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him into the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord have given me my petition, which I asked of him. 28 last. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord there. So you had 2 women. One concerned about the Most High and what he wanted, and one concerned about herself. Right? And if you notice, the Most High and Elkanah, her husband, honored Hannah, because Hannah had the Most High's interest as priority. Hannah had her needs not even on the back burner, but off the stove. She wanted to do what was right for the Most High. And see, this is where, if you're not careful as a virgin or as a princess, you will falter. All right. So the rest of this time you got left, you got to start moving yourself to say, am I on my program or am I on the Most High's? See, that's what you got to do. This is how you don't get left. But like I say, some of this, it's going to still go over. We ain't going to, you know what? Let me take that back. It's not that it's going to go over your head. You're just not going to do it. Like I said, that devil is strapped in. He got a seatbelt on. He ain't going nowhere. So that'll be on y'all. But let me get another precept. This is 2 Samuel chapter 6. Oh, we read this passage before, but I need to bring it out again. Starting at verse 1. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of the power, which name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts that dwelleth between the cherubims. And they set the ark of the power upon a new cart and brought it out of the house of Abinadab that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was at Gibeah, accompanying the ark of the power, and Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets and cymbals. And when they came to Nashon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand of the ark of power and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and power smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of the power. Now, what makes some of y'all think that you could just give the Most High what you want to give him, it's going to be okay? He said, nobody but the Levites touched the ark. That's exactly what he meant. Guess what else he said? Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, soul, and strength, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two hang all the law and the prophets. That's what he said. That's what he meant. All right? When he says that a woman should be submit to her husband in everything, he means that. That's without spot or wrinkle. Okay? Look at verse 8. And David was displeased because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah, and he called the name of the place Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, how shall the ark of the covenant, the ark of the Lord, come to me? So David would not move the ark unto him into the city of David, but carried it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord continued in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. Verse 12. And it was told King David, saying, the Lord hath blessed the house of Obed-Edom and all that pertaineth unto him, because of the ark of the power. So David went and brought up the ark of the power from the house of Obed-Edom into the city of David with gladness. And it was so that when they that bare the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And David danced before the Lord with all his might. And David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of a trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. See, the Most High not only knows when you despise your king, all right, outwardly, he knows when you despise him in your heart, and he picked up on it. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in his place. And in the midst of the tabernacle that David, wait a minute. We jump. Let me start at the top of verse 16 again. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in its place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men. To everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. Then David returned to bless his household. So he blessed the people, and now he coming to bless his household. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David. So, first she despised him in her heart, and then now she's going to despise him in his face. How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself. So see, this is why your heart got to be clear. Because when you despise in your heart, then it's going to manifest itself physically, and then you're going to get yourself in trouble. And David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord which chose me before thy father, and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord. Verse 22. And I will yet be more viler than thus, and will be base in my own sight. And of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor. Why did he say that? Well, the maidservants weren't tripping on each other. They weren't jealous of one another. They was happy to be with the king. It was Michal tied to her bullshit that had the problem. So he said, I'm going to take these two maidservants in here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to laugh. We're going to be together. And look what he did to Michal. Therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death. And do y'all know the story behind that? Did a little more research. She did get pregnant, but she died during childbirth. She got punished. Most High took her ass on out of here. So David put her away, all right? And then once she got pregnant, she went full term. She had the baby, and it killed her during childbirth for being wicked. So, you had two maidservants that enjoyed their king without no static, no confusion, no jealousy, no nothing. And then you got Michal, the one that want to sit back and be a fucking problem. See? She got put away, all right? And then, you know, like I said, he went and he touched her up. She got pregnant. The Most High let her give birth, and then he took her on out of here. So, what does that tell you? Goes to the two women, right? One shall be in the field, one taken, and the other one left. If you call yourself a princess and you are a first fruit, you have to be without blemish. Without blemish. You got to be in right standing, all right, in every way that you know how. You got to be in right standing in every way that you know how. All right? You got to search yourself. Am I wife material? Am I princess material? Or deep down, am I that wicked ass bitch that I know I am? You know if you are or not. Like me, what you see is what you get. I'm not wicked. I'm not evil. I'm not conniving. I'm not doulo. I'm not dirty. I'm none of those things. What you see is what you get with me. I don't switch. If you call yourself my friend, I'm gonna expect you to be my friend. I'm expecting you to be that person. I'm expecting you to be that. And if you show me that person, that's who I'm going to believe. But if you show me something else, I'm going to believe that person. See? And I'm not saying if you had a bad day, you come back and be like, hey, this was the deal, man. You know, my bad or whatever. And I'll do the same for you. Everybody has a bad day. But when you're able to carry that shit on, and you're able to be a way that I've never seen you, all right? And you change right before my eyes, and you're able to uphold that, I'm going to believe that person. Oh, so this is you. All right? So you're a liar then. Got it. So now we'll deal on that wise. Do I get upset? No, I don't get upset. All right? I just get enlightened, educated, and then I make the change. And that's what the Most High is looking for you. He wants to know, what type of woman are you? That's what Yahawashi want to know. Do you know yourself? All right? Yeah. I got issues. I got daddy issues. I got this issues. This happened to me. Understand all that. But you women have been in here. You've been edified to the highest degree that you can get edified. Are you applying that to your character and your spirit to make the right change? Because see, Yahawashi doing the selecting. He said, let the wheat and the tare grow together. Y'all got wheat and tares too. They got some wonderful women in here. Some wonderful aquas that's going to make wonderful wives. Then they got some that ain't. Yahawashi ain't bringing them along. All of the undercover bitches, slick, sneaky, sly, disrespectful, he knows who you are, and you know who you are. You can hang on as long as you want. You can watch the videos. You can edify. You can do all of that. But the time is going to come, do or die. When Yahawashi come back, if you ain't ready, if you ain't reconciled into your mind that I'm going to be this type of princess, this type of wife, your ass getting left, man. And that's not a threat. It's a promise. I got it confirmed in the scriptures. 2 women shall be grinding, one taken, the other one left. You are first fruits. You women are going to be the highest offering as far as women are concerned that will ever be given to the Most High. So if you take this lackadaisy, if you take this, you know, like, oh, well, I know I'm clean, and you don't run a self-check and say, are you really that woman? You're going to get a nasty surprise. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you. What did I do? Well, you didn't examine yourself. You didn't examine yourself. Do you love the Most High? Do you love his beloved Son? Do you love his word? Do you love your sisters? Will you honor and respect your king? Are you going to build a house of love and peace? Or are you going to be combative and be a little bitch? If that's your plans, got bad news for you. Two taken. Two shall be grinding. One taken, the other one left. Which one are you going to be, ladies? Y'all know this is in love, right? We here. We here. So, whatever you done, wherever you at, if there's anything that you need to reconcile with the Most High, now's the time to do it. If there's anything you need to reconcile with your with any of your sisters, it's the time to do it. If there's anything you need to reconcile with your king, it's the time to do it. If there's anything that you need to reconcile with your king from a virgin perspective, it's the time to do it. Because if Yahweh Shai got it in his head and in his heart that you're going to be a fucking problem, don't look to come with us. All right? All right. That's it for this. I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. I pray that you were edified. Akwaf, love y'all. This is in love. Don't get mad. Don't get bitter. Listen to it. Study. Make the change. All right? All right. See y'all on the next go round. KD out. Shalom.